problem. We're going to talk about the problem with making marriage the goal and what goes on in our minds and in our hearts and why this is a problem. Within the church, within ourselves, what we're taught. I mean, because we literally are taught that, like, literally once you grow up, you're supposed to get married.
Even if you decide to not get in a relationship and to stay single, find out what your purpose is with God. Find out what it is that He needs you to do. Find out what His will is for your life. When you're seeking a mate, or when you're looking into getting into a relationship with anyone, always figure out what it is that they're seeking. What is their vision? Your vision may be different from theirs.
I leave it on the kid to like decide what I am. Like my kids, they call me bonus dad, which is cool because I feel like I'm super dad because I'm everything that ain't. So I'm the one he wake up to. I'm the one that's taking him to school. I'm the one cooking. I'm the one going to get clothes. I'm the one cutting it. I'm the one doing everything. So I'm not trying to take your title. Only way I can take your title is you let me take your title.
I just heard you say things and I just want to reiterate them. You talked about pleasing. And so I just want to tell you guys, excuse me, pleasing the Father should be one of your focuses while you're single. Pleasing Him, this is how I say it, pleasing Him before Him, women, capital H before lowercase h, meaning another man. When you are pleasing the Father, you're focused on His will, His way, and you're doing things that bring glory to His name. And so that is not even pleasing yourself, your fleshly desires, your selfish desires that are ungodly, but that is literally doing things His way. And so you please the Father, not yourself or another person, a man or a woman. And then you talk about purpose. You were talking about worshipers. You come into your identity. You come into knowing who you are. So you're pleasing. You're learning how to please God. You're learning how to know who you are. So your purpose, you were placed here on purpose, for a purpose, with a purpose. So on purpose, with your purpose, you live that out.
Again, we're talking about our opinions. I'm going to wonder about standards. I'm going to wonder about what his idea of decent and in order is. Okay, mm-hmm. I'm going to wonder about, what is he looking for? And chances are that's not what we want. Not us, not 30 single and saved family members. Okay?
Come on, sis.
Go ahead, ladies.
I need to hear this.
I'm the man of this house. Next question.
Here we go.
You know what? For real, I am the man of the house, and my wife allows me to be the head of the house because that's how God did things. But along with that, me being the head of the house don't mean I make all the rules. It don't mean I call all the shots. We do talk about what's going on. We do, we conversate, because if we don't conversate, you're going to have some mess going on. So, and I don't want that. I don't want her to feel like she's inferior, because that's not what the head of the household means.
It was just like she would recite Bible verses. Even though I had studied the Bible, I was just like, it was different. So I would have to literally go read what she said. And then so I could come back with a quick answer. But it was like she did it so often, and it was just genuine. So then we started reading Bible
the Bible app, different Bible plans together.
Mm-hmm. And we started that, and that was starting my day. But it was like I think because she had such a strong influence, and I knew that was her foundation. I knew if I wanted to be on the same accord with her, I had to get into what she loved. And if she loved God, I had to go back to him.
And that breakups, they are emotional roller coasters, right? Breakups are always emotional roller coasters. And why would you think that the healing process is any different, right? The healing process is going to be an emotional roller coaster, just like the breakup is, right? So it's not something that you can completely heal from overnight. It's probably gonna take more than just one night for you to heal, right? But you need to allow yourself the time and the space to heal. And what do I mean about the time and the space? Go through your healing process, because just like there are stages of grief, there are particular things that you're going to go through in your healing process. If you're being real with yourself, if you're being honest with yourself, there are things that you're going to go through in your healing process. There is no particular order. There is no particular time frame. So what do I mean about giving yourself the time and the space to heal? Don't put a time limit on it. Don't put a timeline on it. Don't say, well, by, we just broke up last week. By the end of July, you know what? I'm going to move on and I'm going to be dating again. No. You go through your process and don't rush your process, all right? Give yourself the space to heal. And what do I mean about the space? I mean that just because old dude is out, don't mean bringing another one in just because you met him and he had a nice smile. No. Good evening to you. Thank you so much for joining us for yet another 30 Single and Saved Live. As you know, I'm your host, Lauren Monet, and I am so excited to be before you all tonight, all right? So it's just me tonight, you guys, and we're going to have a good time. I'm excited about the discussion. We have an awesome topic. Oh my gosh, and I'm so ready to dive into it. But first, I want to say thank you. Thank you to all of the viewers. Thank you to each of you all who have been supporting the ministry. Those that have reached out to me and, really let me know that 30 Single and Saved is blessing you. I just want to say thank you. God is doing some amazing things with this ministry. And I'm so excited about the things that he has in store for the ministry, but also what he's doing right now. All right. So I just needed to say that before we got started. I thank and praise God for each and every one of you all for supporting the ministry. All right. So thank you for joining us tonight. I'm excited. Like I said, we have an awesome topic that we're going to discuss. But before we get into the topic, I do want to say good evening to everyone that is in the comment section. So good evening to my Auntie Kim. Good evening to you. She was actually our special guest on Sunday for kicking it with the family. So good evening, Auntie. And I also know that you're multitasking right now. So I appreciate you being here because I know that you're busy. All right. But thank you for joining us. Good evening to Kaya. She's in the comment section. Thank you for joining us tonight. Always supporting. Thank you. Good evening, Mom. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. My sister Kathy is in the comment section. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on tonight. Who else we got? Sister Perry, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Good evening to you. And so before we get started, you guys, I do want to invite you all to make sure that you hit the share button for us. All right, you guys. Sharing is free. Sharing is free. It costs nothing to hit that share button and just share this live out. All right. So I want to make sure that you all hit that share button for us. Share this out. We're gonna have a good time tonight. As you know, look, I'm here. I'm by myself. And so we're gonna have like some laughs. You guys know. And we're just gonna kind of keep it real. And I need you all's opinions. All right. And your expertise. So please don't shy away from the comment section tonight. All right. We need to hear from you. Some of you all may have to think back a few years because you've been in long-lasting relationships.
But nonetheless, I need your opinions and your input. All right. And let us know how you feeling on tonight. All right. And I also want to say good evening to Sister Galloway. Good evening to you. Thank you for joining us on this evening. All right. So you guys make sure that you share this out for us. And also I do want to remind you, if you have not done so, please like the 30 Single and Save page, and also join the 30 Single and Save group. I want to encourage you all to do that as well. And also, we are live on YouTube tonight. All right, so so if you have not done so, please, 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 we are brand new to YouTube. Last week was our first episode that we aired live, and we're in the process of switching over our videos, so everything is there and everything is in one place. But until then, I want to encourage you all, please make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel. So excited to be able to say that. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm so excited to be on YouTube, you guys. And so just make sure that if you know anyone that can benefit from this ministry, and I say it all the time, this ministry is not just for singles, but it's for everyone, everyone that is a believer. Let me just say it like that. Anyone that is a believer, that has a word of encouragement or may need a word of encouragement from time to time. And so, we like to partner with different people from time to time. And so I want to invite you all to be a part of the ministry. It's like I said, it's not just for singles. All right. So I want to invite you all to be a part of the ministry, and just be active. All right, you guys. I think that's all we got. We're going to go ahead and get started. So tonight, a little fun topic, and I'm excited about it. We're going to be talking about after the breakup. All right, some of you all have been, like I said, in long relationships. You guys have not been single for a very long time. Okay, and that is okay. It's okay to still be in the comment section. All right, because if you can think back and help us out, if you can give us some expertise, give us your expertise, and just comment, let us know what your experiences are, but or were. But also I want to invite everyone, if you're currently in your dating season, this is a good topic for you to be a part of as well. So use that comment section. All right, you guys. And we're going to go ahead and get started. So we're talking about after the breakup, men versus women. All right, you guys. You guys know that men and women handle breakups very differently, like really differently. There's only a small percentage of men and women that may kind of flip roles sometimes, um, or what have you. But men and women, when they go through breakups, oh my goodness, it's like night and day. And honestly, what I've from my research and also from my experiences, honestly, men and women, it's like the roles, it's like they're reversed. So stage one for maybe a woman is probably stage five for the man. Okay, and then it's literally reversed. And so we're going to talk about some of the different stages. And you guys, these are not just totally, and like, look, we're gonna have a good time. Disclaimer, you guys, I am not like a licensed professional in any of this or anything like that. But you guys, just by experience, just by a little bit of research, we're gonna have this discussion. So that's why I want you guys to share with me your experiences, your thoughts, your opinions as well. All right. And so men and women literally go through breakups totally different sometimes. And I thought that this was a really good topic because honestly, the just the change in the dynamics of what they go through is so interesting to me and so crazy all at the same time. So we're going to talk about it. All right, you guys. And so let's go ahead. I'm going to start with the men because I know everyone in the comment section and those who are watching, the men are a little bit funny, all right? And so you guys know that I like to entertain you all and I like to have a good time. So you guys, we're going to start with the men on tonight. So if there are any men in the comment section, I want you guys to speak up and let us know if we got it wrong. But I'm pretty sure we don't. All right. All right, you guys. So when men go through a breakup, whether he is the one that's breaking up with her or she has broken up with him, there are certain things that he goes through. And men initially, and let's break it down into stages, okay, you guys? Let's talk about stage one. So a man, after he's broken up with someone or he's been broken up with, he goes through the realization stage. All right. So let's kind of break it down and talk about it. So the realization stage is when the guy initially he ignores what's going on, right? Guys like to ignore the breakup. It's like it's not happening. And you know, they don't stay in this stage very long whatsoever. All right. This particular stage is like, oh, I'm free, you know. And you know, it's not really like registering what, you know, what it really entails to that just happened. It's not registering that this is like a literally a life altering thing that just happened. So a lot of times what happens is, even though this is the realization stage, it's ignored, right? This is the time for them to kind of process and all of that, but they don't. They do not process. It's almost like it did not happen. Oh man, I'm broken up. Okay, cool. Let's go about my day. And I told you guys last week that my brother was the one who kind of like put it into perspective for me. I think we were having a conversation about 2 or 3 years ago, and we were talking, and it really stuck with me. And it really stuck with me how he said, you know, sometimes men, what they tend to do is they tend to, you know, whatever's going on that's rocky in their lives at that point in time, that there's like a, you know, if there's some kind of you know, wall or this mountain that they have to climb or some bumps in the road, well, they're not going to focus on that too much. They're going to focus more so on the smooth road, the smooth ride. So that could be at that point in time work. It could be, you know, extracurricular activities, you know, sports, working out. It could be anything, hanging out with their friends, you know, attending, depending on, you know, what kind of guy it is, depending on, you know, what his interaction is, going to church services, all, you know, just being overly active in other things because maybe the relationship is not going the way, you know, it's not going smoothly. So it's like he has to think a lot. He has to, you know, really come into, you know, having to focus on the relationship. So if it's a little rocky, look, he's going to focus himself elsewhere and let the rocks and all of that stay over there and handle themselves. All right. He's like, oh, I'll put that to the side and I'll handle that later. And so this is usually how guys tend to react to things. All right. Whatever is easiest at the time, whatever is not pulling on them and requiring a lot of them, they're pretty much gonna go towards that for right now. They're gonna go the opposite. Whatever is whatever is easiest, that's what they're gonna focus on. All right. And so this realization stage is so important to understand because it's like the guy ignores the breakup. All right. All right. So now that we've talked about that, you guys put your comments in the comment section. Let me know. Let me know how you feel about this stuff. Let me know if your man is sitting there watching it with you and he's like, nah, that ain't true. Let me know, y'all. All right. So stage two, single and ready to mingle. Now notice in the first stage of realization, he's ignoring that part, right? He's ignoring that he's broken up. But now he has come to the realization that, man, I am single and I am ready to get out there. Why is this? It's because honestly, you know, he's at that point where he's going to ignore what's going on. So yeah, it's almost like he's moving on and the breakup did not ever faze him. And to and I hate to go here, but you know, it's my thought process. To a woman, from the outside looking in, it's like, so you're just gonna go on and start dating, you're just gonna go on, and you know, how can you do that? How can you like really just put yourself out there at this point in time when we just broke up, right? And so this is the stage where you may experience, you know, you might see them looking at, you know, online dating apps, or they're going on, you know, casual dates and things like that. And someone might be, you know, the girl's friend, because you guys know how women are. Girl, this is what he did, this is what I saw on social media, da 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 da, whatever. And this is that point in time where it's like, okay, he shouldn't be at this point of dating, but he is, and that's real quick, right? And we tend to, you know, see how sometimes men move on from relationship to relationship really quickly, right? And see, that's a potential problem. And we're going to talk about that moving on very quickly and how that works for men. We're going to talk about that a little bit later. But just this point right here, stage 2, he's single, ready to mingle, ready to put himself out there, right? He hasn't really dealt with the breakup at all. You guys didn't hear me say that he's dealt with the breakup whatsoever, right? And so this is the stage that we're at. So let's look here. Stage 3. Distractions. In this particular stage, you're going to recognize, you know, men maybe working out, maybe trying to go out, you know, calling up their boys and like, hey, look, you know what I'm saying, what you got going tonight? Okay, we going to the bar, we're going out, we're gonna hang, what are we gonna do? You know, we're gonna go to this, you know, to the basketball game, what are we gonna do? Kind of thing. Maybe getting closer with coworkers. You knew, like, from, you know, from previous experience, you know, like, he ain't really mess with people like that. This is that stage where the guy is really focused in on, you know, just those distractions, anything that'll get his mind off of what reality really is, right? Because reality really hasn't set in at this point in time, right? All right. And so, you know, trying to find things, you know, to do that will help. So this is where, you know, like I said, he's reaching out to other people. He might be checking on his family members a little bit more. He might be a little bit more active in their lives and all of that, just to keep from dealing with the breakup, dealing with those emotions, dealing with those feelings. And this is natural for men, because let me break this down real quick. Men, if you look at the difference between men and women and how they are raised as children, men are more so, what happened when they were little boys? It was always, you know, don't cry, be tough. You know, we don't show emotions. That's what little boys are taught. You don't show emotion, you should be tougher than that. You know, whatever it is, you'll get through it. You know, it's kind of like that tough love. They're given that tough love. And in that tough love, you got to understand that it's not just what they're taught as a child, but they grow up with these same thoughts. Okay, now that I've been taught this, it's going to resonate throughout my relationships and experiences and all of that. And so here you have a guy who, you know, not necessarily are really meaning to or even focusing on these particular stages whatsoever. But because these have been pretty much, you know, something that has been taught from him being a little boy, yeah, it's, you know, covering emotions, not really showing emotion, not really using many words to describe how it is that he feels. You know, a lot of men, and I'm not saying this is all men, but there are a lot of people who have raised their children, their sons, to, you know, not show emotion, not describe what it is that they're feeling, not give them that out, right? And so this is some of the reasons why, you know, men tend to, you know, go through these stages in a breakup, is because, oh no, like, I'm weak if I show emotion. I'm weak if I really deal with how I'm feeling about this breakup. So not, and then initially he's not even feeling that, because he's taught, he's been taught that, you know, emotion is not something that, you know, you show emotion. And also, you know, just really verbalizing your feelings is not something that a real man does. And that's a lie. We all know that that's a lie, but a lot of men are taught this as young boys. All right. And so that's why, you know, it's really imperative, you know, and this is something that I thank God that not only my generation, but a lot of, you know, just parents have been changing these molds of how you know, their sons and daughters are raised, and giving them opportunities to be able to express themselves and all of that. So things are changing, thank God. But yeah, it's but every situation is not the same. Everyone is not, you know, open to raising their children like that. And there are, you know, homes where children are suppressed, like they're taught to suppress their feelings. They're taught to, you know, not have an opinion about anything. And so yeah, I'm having a good time with you guys, but I also, you know, like, it's a little comical, but I also want to, you know, give you guys some really good sound information. On the flip side, I will say this, because I just explained that, you know, us as women, you know, females, we're taught, you know, initially, what is it? You know, express yourself. tell how you feel. Don't sit there and be thinking something and you don't know how to express it. Use your words and all of that. We're always encouraged to use our words to, feel what we feel and not be ashamed of it. And so that's the difference between, how maybe a man may react to certain things and how women do as well. Not saying that this is all situations. Disclaimer: this is not all situations. Not all people deal with this the same way. But I'm just bringing something to light. All right. Brandon says, not only do some parents, both fathers and mothers, emphasize repressing or ignoring emotions, but society definitely informs those norms. Yes, informs those norms, as well as some women are raised to expect such behavior. Years of this conditioning is why some men can't handle long term relationships well. Man, you said a mouthful there. That is so true. I love how you just broke that down because that is so true. The norms that we are taught, both men and women, totally different from the way that you're even treated in school. Totally different, right? It's not supposed to be, but there are these unspoken beliefs that are just replicated throughout generations. Former comment mostly in regards to how boys men are raised. Okay, awesome. Yeah, so years of conditioning, he said, years of conditioning is why men can't handle long-term relationships. Oh my goodness. And that's crazy because a lot of men think that once they get to a certain point, they're ready for long-term relationships. Um, a lot of men at certain points, think that they are ready to, step up and be, the man that the woman needs and the father that she needs, and not knowing that he still has like a lot of growing to do, a lot of, learning how to deal with those emotions. And that is partly why a lot of relationships fail as well. I'm not putting it all on the man, but you guys know that I've separated the man and the woman. So I'm about to talk about the women in a minute. But a lot of those situations, that the man maybe has not dealt with emotionally, or, even verbalized or come to the realization that he has to knock down some of these walls that he's been dealing with, could potentially be the reason why, he can't empathize with the woman, right? A lot of times maybe it's just because there have been some things that he's not dealt with in his past. And a lot of times we have to even realize that some things that have been done to people or that people go through, a lot of times, depending on the situation, if it's something traumatic and something that they don't want to deal with, they'll unconsciously like literally forget that it's happened just to make it seem like it's gone. And I don't, like I said, I'm not a licensed therapist or anything like that, so I don't have the correct terms or anything like that. But what they'll do is they'll suppress those, those memories, those thoughts, and like literally it'll be in the back of their mind, and they will not be able to pull from them because, sometimes, if have you ever been through a traumatic situation? If you don't go through the proper protocol and the steps to be able to heal from a traumatic situation, or even relationship, what you'll end up doing is sometimes the victim of the trauma will end up taking those thoughts and memories and things like that, and they'll end up suppressing them and putting them away so that they don't ever have to think of them again, right? But that doesn't necessarily mean that they're healed from it, right? Because they never dealt with it. They just wanted it, it's kind of out of sight, out of mind. Like, I don't want to think about this anymore. I don't want to deal with it. So I'm just not. And so who knows, what somebody's situation, childhood was like, or anything like that, background, anything like that. All right, you guys. And so getting back to it, um, this next stage is a little funny, all right? So you have the crazy ex-boyfriend stage. This is where he starts kind of coming into like the realization that, oh man, I am single. Oh man, what's she doing? So he starts kind of keeping tabs on, the female, especially if, she's not calling, she's not texting, she's not, trying to get in touch with you. She's not doing a crazy, like, I got to get to you. I got to get you, because sometimes, let me tell you something, and it's not just men, it's women too. Sometimes, there are people out there who love attention so much to the point where they enjoy the chase. Like they enjoy you, chasing after them and going crazy and trying to like communicate with them and all of this or whatever, to the point where when you stop doing it, it's like, hold on, what are you doing? Uh, hold on, where you at? Why aren't you calling me? Why aren't you, texting me? Why aren't you, popping up on my social media anymore? Why aren't you trying to, like get to me or whatever? And, and just like I just said, block, like when you get to that stage, if you're the if you're the one on the other side and you start experiencing, the crazy vibes from the other party, look, it's time to block, right, Kaya? Yes. That's totally right. Yes. Use that block button. Look, the block ministry is strong. Let me tell you something. Um the block ministry is strong over here, and the block ministry is strong throughout. Let me tell you something. The saints know how to block, all right? But yes, the crazy ex-boyfriend stage. You start keeping tabs on the ex, and start being maybe like a little destructive, like, I don't know who this new guy is. Let me check him out and stuff like that. Then he's like a little bit more interested. Like I said before, the guy was not thinking about her. Like, he's like, I'm single, ready to mingle, I'm ready to date, I'm ready to get out here. But the thing about that is, let me tell you the problem with all of those stages. Like I said before, he never took the time to, heal. He never took the time to deal with his emotions. So by the time you get to the crazy ex-boyfriend stage, you better hope that he's not mental in this particular portion. But also, let's understand that even at this point, with him not taking the time to heal, the problem in that particular scenario is that he's out here single, ready to mingle, dating other women, and creating scars and wounds on these other women and their emotions, pulling at them, tugging at them, playing games, because he's not serious. He's just trying to find something to fill the time. These are the distractions that he's using these women as distractions from dealing with his real feelings. And so at this point in time, you got to think about it. He's not serious about any of these women. And some of you all may even be able to attest to this. Have you ever been the victim of someone who has not been healed, who is not healed, and they literally have played with your emotions? Have you ever been the person who played with the person's emotions because you just wanted to be distracted from the hurt that the breakup may have caused you? And this is to men and women. Kind of just, self-reflect. And don't beat yourself up if you're like years past this stuff. Look, don't beat yourself up, anything like that, but just a self-reflection, okay? Because there are people out there who are, just using other people as, pawns in their game of distraction, in their games to not really deal with their feelings, their true feelings, okay? And so I want you all to be aware. Use your discernment. I posted something yesterday, and it said, make sure that your walk away game is strong. And why is that? It's because some people don't, have good intentions for you, period. You're being used. If you ever, realize or, sense that you're being used, look, walk away from that situation. You're not a punching bag. You're not someone who, honestly, has to stay in any kind of situationship or, relationship or anything like that with someone who is just using you to get over someone else. All right. So and that's why, it's important to understand that, ask about their history. Ask about their previous relationships. Ask about those situations. Allow them, allow them the time to be open and honest with you, okay? Because you can tell a lot by their history, right? And if they just brought, and what I mean by that is, look, if they just got out of a relationship a month ago, you can save yourself a lot of headache and heartache from dealing with that person. If they just got out of a relationship, look, they need some time to heal. And a lot of times, especially women, like we have this perception that we can, we are we're natural nurturers, right? We want to nurture, we want to help, we want to be able to build and rebuild, and actually take the pain away and nurse them back to health, right? But in a lot of these situations, what a woman or women, and even me, has ended up doing is you end up nursing this person who honestly, really and truly doesn't want to be healed. You end up nursing them, or you end up nursing them back to health. But then once they are healed, once they're in a good place, they don't, what I'm saying, they're not reciprocating that same healing, they're not giving that same care or that same nurturing, spirit. And so at that point in time, they're damaging you and where the work that you've done and who you are, and who, here you go again, right back in the same cycles, right? And so this is, hopefully this is helping someone to not go back into the same cycles that they've been in over and over again. And I know I've been talking to some 30 single and savers, and you guys have been telling me about these, these red flags, these cycles that you've been in. And look, this is one of those lives that can potentially help you not to enter back into the same cycle. You wonder why, you're dating, or you come in contact with the same individual that has the same, what is it, characteristics as the previous person that hurt you and all of this or whatever. Literally, you have the power to X them out. You have the power to like knock them out your life. And look, allow God to bring the person in that needs to be there. All right. Allow healing to take place, but also, understand that a lot of this, you do have some power. You do have some control over. All right. You have the power to, admit people into your life, into your circle, into your space. And you also have the power to give them the boot and hit that block button, like Kaya said in the comment section. All right. You got the power to do that. All right. And so just, take care of you. All right. So here we go. Let's get to stage 5, and that's going to be it for the men. All right. So now we're at stage 5. It's the breakup blues. This is where he actually realizes, or the men, they come to realize, they come to terms that the relationship is actually over, that it has ended, and they're actually single. Wow. It took all of that, took all of that for them to kind of get to the point where it's like, oh, snap, like, oh, I kind of miss her. Oh, who am I gonna talk to now? And look, things. This is the point where they realize that things will not be the same. There's no going back to the normal that they knew with that person, and they're kind of starting to feel it a little bit. Now, this is the last stage. This is stage 5. And for me back in the day, I was so baffled as to why men went through these processes like this. Why is it that they don't feel it at the beginning like women do, right? And so this particular stage is the one where it's like, whoa, I'm really single. Oh man, I actually miss her. Oh man, I really, she actually did do something, have some value. She actually, she does things that nobody else will do and all of this. And that's when they come into the realization of missing the woman. All right. And so stage 5 is like, kind of that thing of, really, you just now realizing what's the saying, you don't miss a good thing till it's gone, or ain't no and then I guess that this is the point where they would play that song, Ain't No Sunshine Till He's while she's gone. So yeah, so men are taught to be tough. They don't show emotion. They put on, pretty much like at the beginning stages, they put on their favorite music, they vibing, they're going out with friends, they're doing all of this and that, and their weakness is not shown, in stages 1 and 2. Look, there's no showing weakness with men. And I'm not saying all men. But yeah, it's a lot of times, what did Kai say? Some of them be in denial and stubborn. Exactly. A lot of denial, a lot of stubbornness. And I will say the latter more so. I would say if I had to choose, I would say stubborn, then denial. Yeah, because the stubbornness is really where, like, is the kicker. And don't get me wrong, like, there are really some stubborn women. I'm one of them. But yeah, they're really in denial and they're stubborn. And so it's that thing of, like, they have that pride, that, that strong, firm pride as well. And so yeah, it's important to, really realize that. But I will say this, in closing the men's portion, because we got to get to the women. In closing the men's portion, I will say this, a man who has submitted to God, a man who is really, humble, a man who, is allowing God to lead him and guide him, a man who really has his foundation set in God, like God is his foundation, someone who is actually, willing to admit his wrongs and things like that. A man of God, a true man of God, is willing to admit when he's wrong. Okay. True man of God is willing to put his stubbornness to the side, put his pride to the side for the sake of that godly relationship that God has placed with it, placed him in. So I will say that. So I'm glad that you said that. And so you guys, let me know, sound up in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think about the men's portion. As we slide on over to the women's portion. All right. Let's go to the women. All right. Stage 1. There is heartbreak. All right. Stage 1 is the heartbreak section. When women, let me tell you something. Upon the breakup, women, like I told you before, and this section is going to be a little bit more easy for me because I didn't have to do as much research because I, have been through some breakups. Let me tell you something. Women initially, feel like, this stage is gonna last forever. Okay. This particular portion, and I apologize, you guys, I'm dealing with sinuses tonight, so I apologize if I sound a little off. The sinuses, the pollen, the everything, the back and forth weather, you guys. But yeah, in this particular stage, she feels like, life sucks, everything sucks. How is she gonna make it? Thinking about the future. Okay, well, he was my future, so what do I do now, right? There's a lot of crying in this stage. Probably like either a lot of not eating or overeating, one or the other. Okay. Or maybe a little bit of both. And so there's a lot of thinking about, what could have been in this particular stage. So women, it's backwards, you guys. Just like I told you in stage 5 for the men, that's where they're reflecting. That's where they're, like, oh man, things are different. Oh man, like that's where they actually realize that it's over. Stage 5. Well, stage 1 for women is they realize it's over. They're heartbroken. They're going through the motions. It's a lot of crying. It's a lot of trying to deal with the feelings and the emotions and things like that. Thinking about what could have been, what was the future, did I make the right decision? Or, if she's the one who broke up with him, did I make the right decision? How is this going to work? And all of this, right? And so, yeah, this particular stage, it might feel like, she doesn't know where, what the next day is going to hold. It might be a little bit of depression in there. It could be a lot of stuff that's going on. All right. So that's stage 1. And if you guys have any questions about the women's portion, I can definitely answer it just like that. All right. But that's stage 1. All right. So we got stage 2, which is the recovery. All right. So you guys know that when you're dealing, we've talked about this before, when you're dealing with grief, there are different stages of grief, and there's no way to tell what stage you're going to be in and when and how long or anything like that. Right. And so it's the same thing with the recovery portion for women. She can feel good one day, feel like she's on top of the world, feel like, she can conquer anything, and then she can slide right back down into that heartbreak. And this is real true because, women are emotional creatures, right? We are emotional beings. We have, these emotions that we have to process, and we have to go through the process. We have to sometimes even talk it out, right? And that's literally how it is. Kaya said, right, for me, I'll cry, eat, and watch those love movies. Exactly. Look, a woman is gonna, and I'm glad you said that, because look, I heard a comedian talk about this. He was talking about how, the women, they call their friends, the girlfriends come over, they watch the little sappy love movies, they cry together, they eat together and all of that, and they keep, and they're able to talk it out, they're able to get all that stuff out. And let me tell you something, the difference between women and men, look, the man is ignoring that it's going on. The woman is actually admitting to her friends that this has happened. She has gone through this traumatic experience, and she's going through it currently right now. And the friends are there for her. So yeah, you're right. You cry, you eat, you watch those love movies on repeat. Like, let's go, And of course, life is still going on while you're dealing with this. Life still goes on. So it's not like, she can drop everything and just be sad all the time, or drop everything and just cry and all of that. No, like, she still got responsibilities and all of that. So I love that you brought that out. That's funny. But it's really real. So this is the stage where, she might start working out, she might start, and this is on along with, the distractions and all of that or whatever. She might start working out, maybe traveling, finding new hobbies, all of that, something to get her, back to, life as usual, life is normal, with a little twist, right? Because everything can't go back to normal, right? But everything with a little twist. So she might try to find new hobbies. If this doesn't work, you may end up seeing a setback with her. But that's okay, because she's gonna go through stage 1 and then stage 2 again. And if she has to go back to stage 1, she's gonna go through stage 1 and go back through stage 2 again. And this is how women work, because we are emotional creatures. We do. We go through. We have to process. We have to, think about what could have happened with this and all of this or whatever, right? And so if if stage 2 goes wrong, y'all, you get the crazy ex-girlfriend where she is checking your social media. She is she is texting, saying, I think I made a mistake or whatever. Maybe things get worse before they get better, and this is, potentially what could happen. I'm not saying everybody goes through these stages, but it could happen. All right. And so that's when you see the movies where, like, the women end up, like, slashing as high as they can't let go. What was it? Angela Bassett in Waiting to Exhale. She took the clothes and, like, put them in the car and set the car on fire. She didn't care about anything. This could potentially be the crazy ex-girlfriend stage that, might be experienced. But yes, like, this is literally, something that could happen. I'm not going to say all women go through this. But honestly, we come into stage 4. Stage 4 is where she starts coming around. She's accepting that she's single. She has accepted the fact that, it's really time to, move on. So she starts finding different things that make her happy. She starts, doing things for herself now. And now she's at a place where she's trying to learn who she is again so that she can be happy all over again. A lot of times what happens is she's trying to get back to that state before the relationship where she was good. Now, it's not always going to turn out like that. It's not always going to, look the same or feel the same or anything like that. But if she can get back to some form of normalcy before the relationship started, then she feels like she can be in a better place. All right. And so this is literally what the woman is going through. And at this point in time, I would say in the coming around stage, she's probably not yet ready to start dating. Okay, not at the coming around stage. She's at that place where, no, like, I don't want anybody. I'm good by myself. And, let's just coast right here. All right. Let me see what it feels like to be single again, like just me. And so, yeah, this is literally what, I apologize, you guys. Like I said, I'm dealing with sinuses, but this is literally like what the woman goes through. And so then we have the last stage for the woman, which is healed. Look, she's done her work. She has, really come to realize who she is again. She is now, and whatever that means, for a lot of women, it takes a lot of, meditation. Maybe they might go to counseling. They're realizing, that they can do this alone. They can do this by themselves until God sends their mate, right? Also, you got to understand that it's probably going to take a lot of prayer if the woman is, saved and, believes that God is the one that's going to bless her with someone. Look, this particular stage is very important. All right. And we always talk about being healed. Heal and be healed. I always say that. Heal and be healed. Continue to, on your healing process, your healing journey. So Elizabeth says, yes, self-worth and finding you. Exactly. You got to, and that's the thing, it's a lot of I like that you said self-worth, because it made me think about also the self-care that goes along with that. So I love that you brought that up. And honestly, you got to find you again. So in this particular, that was stage 4. So in this particular, stage, you found you, you have, done the work. And let me tell you something. I'm talking fast and I'm like trying to get through the stages so that I don't end up going overtime. But let me tell you something. These don't honestly don't happen. It's not a quick process. I will say that. Now I will say that God can do anything in whatever time frame that he wants to. And I will say, anybody who's willing to do the work, anybody who's willing to, allow God to heal them, look, it can happen at any point in time, and God can bless you however he wants to bless you, whenever he wants to bless you. What my words of encouragement, my word of advice would definitely be to, let go and really let God. I know that we say that a lot, let go, let God, and we say it, in passing and all of that. And a lot of people say it without, really meaning and feeling. But if you really just let go and let God, oh my goodness, God will do some amazing things in your life, and you will not even be able to fathom, how it happened or where it came from. You just know that it's God. All right. So let me tell you something. It is a blessing when you let go and you let God. Kai says, I was one of those crazy ex-girlfriends. I used to call one of my friends to look at his page to see what's going on, even though I'm the one that blocked him. Okay. Wow, Kaya. Come on, tell me the story now. Don't tell me on live. We'll talk about it. But but yes, oh my goodness. Yeah, like the crazy ex-girlfriend say, that's real. That's really real. And the crazy thing is, back in our, parents' days, like they didn't have social media. They had to like rely on the landline phones. Girl, I just saw him and he over there at the, the corner store, da 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 da, whatever. They had to wait till they got home to talk on the phone. Now, oh my goodness, we got cell phones, we got social media. Oh my goodness, and so many social media outlets. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous. So yeah, that crazy ex-girlfriend stage. Oh my goodness, like you got to be careful. And same thing with the crazy ex-boyfriend stage. You got to be careful, okay? And so yeah, but stage 5 is so important. It's so important because at this point in time, she is healed and she is ready to just allow God to just use her in the way that he wants to use her. I know for me, and I'm you guys know that I'm not going to tell you anything that I haven't been through, and I'm always going to share my testimony because I feel like it's really important for you all to know that I've been there and done that, and I've been through situations, so that when I'm telling you this, you don't think that, oh, she just making stuff up or whatever. But I will say this, when I was in this particular season and of being healed and actually healed, let me tell you something. That's when guys would come out the woodwork. Baby, let me tell you something. When you are healed and you are like where God wants you to be, and you are just coasting and you're not looking for anybody, you don't need anyone, at this point in time, you're just, waiting on God. And those urges are not bothering you, anything like that. Let me tell you something. It means that, the Holy Spirit is literally keeping you. And you don't necessarily need anyone, right? And let me tell you something, when you at that stage, guys will come out the woodwork trying to date you, trying to talk to you. Now, let me tell you something. It don't stop at any of the other stages. Stage 1, stage 2, stage. They don't care what stage. Let me tell y'all something. They don't care what stage you're in. And I'm talking to my girls right now, okay? The guys do not care what stage you're in. Remember, like I told you, when they're going through their stuff, it has not, really hit them. So upon breakups, you can tell a guy, yeah, I just broke up with my ex, about 2 weeks ago, whatever. Oh man, for real, and all they're hearing is you single. They're not worried about if you're healed. They're not worried about, your well-being. They're not worried about anything else. They're just like, all they hear is that you're single, right? And so I must, bring this out, ladies. Um, be aware, because when you're on your A game, and I talked to somebody about this just the other day, when you're on your A game and you are where God wants you to be, and you are on His timeline, and things you can, you're not pressed for a mate, you're not pressed for, getting married. None of that is even phasing you. You just trusting God, and you working in your purpose and walking in your purpose. And when you're doing that, let me tell you something, the guys are going to come out of the woodwork trying to get to you, trying to talk to you. Let me tell you something, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic status. It does not matter how you look on that day. Come on, somebody. Like, you can have a whole bun up in your hair, messy bun or whatever, and you just ran out the house real quick. They do not care, because point blank period. It's literally, they do not care. What happens in this particular moment is, let me tell you something, those distractions will be sent your way to knock you off of your path. Okay. And I want you all to be aware, mainly because I care. I really want you all to be aware, because that's going to be the main moments where, they start coming out the woodwork. They want your attention. They want your time. They want to, wine and dine you. They want, to take you out. They want to spend time with you. Because what does that do? If it's not a godly relationship or a godly situation, what's going to happen? When they want to spend time with you, what happens when they want to spend time with you? That's time taken away from your purpose that you've been working in and walking in. That's time away from, if you have children, that's time away from your children. If you, whatever it is, that's time away from you and God. The time that you've been dedicating to God, that's time away from that. So, yeah, those distractions are going to come, and they come with purpose. And I didn't say good purpose. I said they come with purpose, because when that distraction comes, the purpose is to knock you off of your good path that you've been on, to knock you off of the good things that God has been blessing you with, to knock you off of that, that relationship that you've had with God that has been so strong, and you're just able to talk to Him, and you've been in your word and all of that. Look, those distractions come to knock you off of that and to bring you back down. So if He ain't sent from God, look, you ain't got time for it, all right? If God did not send him, if God did not tell you that this is the one that He sent to you, look, you ain't got time for it, especially when, you're using your discernment. You know that, this is just another, Mr. Fix-It job or Mrs. Fix-It job where, you gonna have to, help and, provide and nurture and all this or whatever, and you get nothing in return. So let me tell you something. Trust God, all right? He'll never lead you wrong. He's never going to leave you nor forsake you. So please, please, please make sure that, it has to be God sent. It has to be God sent, all right? In order for you to, and I love the little saying that it says, a man who is praying for his wife, he has his head down, and the only time that he looks up is when the Lord says that that's her, because that's really and truly what it is, all right? Because a lot of times what's going to happen is you're not going to be looking for anybody. You're just, you know what I'm saying, walking in your purpose, working in your purpose, and allowing God to lead you and guide you. He's going to be doing the same thing. He's got God at the forefront, and look, he's not willing to, you know what I'm saying, accept anything less than what God has for him. And so if you all are meeting in the middle, look, nothing but God. All right, you guys. And I just, you know, honestly, I pray that you all enjoyed this particular topic. I'm hoping that you all enjoyed it. I'm praying that you got something from it. I'm hoping that you all were blessed by it. This is one of those, you know, little ones where I, you know, I kind of wanted to entertain you guys, but also give you some, you know, real truth. And so, you know, all of us have, you know, gone through breakups, and so all of us have our own experiences. All of us have, you know, gone through certain, you know, instances and relationships and all of that. And I'm pretty sure every one of us could write a book about all of them. All right. And so, yes, feel free to, if you're watching the replay, feel free to comment in the comment section and let us know what you think about these particular stages, men or women, and also, I'll probably make a post later on this week, you know, kind of just keeping the conversation going, you guys, because this was like really fun. It was really interesting. I pray that you guys enjoyed it. All right. That is our live for tonight. I do want to remind you, every Tuesday we are live on 30 Single and Saved. And so I want you guys to govern yourselves accordingly. So make sure you meet us right back here next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Every Tuesday at 7 p.m. we are live, okay? So please join us. Please support the ministry. Next week we do have a special guest. Evie Collins will be coming on as our special guest. And you guys know every second and fourth Tuesday is our Q&A series. We're still in our Q&A series. So we'll be in our Q&A series next Tuesday with Evie Collins. And so you guys, we're going to post the topic, and you guys make sure that you send in your questions. If you send in your questions via inbox, then of course you'll be labeled as anonymous, and you know, of course, you don't have to give your name. We won't give your name on the live, but you are more than welcome to participate in the comment section during the Q&A portion. So please, you know, govern yourselves accordingly. If you're in the comment section, of course your name is there. But yeah, ask any questions. That is your time to get your questions answered on the topic that we're talking about. Okay, so just be aware that we do have a special guest next Tuesday, and we are live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Now let me remind you guys, tomorrow night, UFC Real Talk, we are still in the Kingdom Woman series, and we will be potentially for the rest of the year. Okay, so you know, for the Kingdom Woman series, make sure that you guys tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. For the Unity Fellowship Church Real Talk Kingdom Woman series. All right, so we'll be talking about that, and if you have not done so, please go ahead and get the book. You can get the digital version on Kindle, so make sure that you get that, and you can catch up at any point in time. We're not too far ahead. We're in chapter 4. Okay, so we're not too far where you can't catch up. Okay, and the chapters are really, you know, an easy read. And you can catch up in no time. All right, you guys. So please make sure that you tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Also, this Saturday at 10 a.m. we do have church school at Unity Fellowship Church. This Saturday at 10 a.m. as well as every Saturday. Okay, every Sunday morning worship at 11 a.m. So I invite you to be my special guest this Sunday, okay? All you have to do is go to the Unity Fellowship Church page, or you can subscribe to the Unity Fellowship Church YouTube channel. And so that's all you have to do, and you can join us for worship, all right? So be my special guest this Sunday, if you will, and make sure that if you can't find it, just go to my page, and I always share it, all right, you guys? So 11 a.m. will be on. Also, every Sunday at 6 p.m. we have Kicking It With the Family. That's where we, you know, let our hair down and really just have a good time. We love to laugh. We love to, you know, crack jokes and just all kinds of family shenanigans. All right. right? So it's gonna be no different this Sunday at 6 p.m. So make sure that you join us, okay? Just for a really good time. If you're looking for some laughs, if you're looking for a good time, make sure you join us this Sunday at 6 p.m. for kicking it with the family. That is all my announcements for now. Also, hold on, it's not all my announcements. I do want to let you guys know, starting May the 1st, okay, I will make a post about this, but I want to make sure that you all are aware on tonight, because I want to give you guys time to get the information, get the book. For all my singles, my single women, on May the 1st, we are going to be going forth in a 31-day prayer challenge for your future husband. There is a book called 31-Day Prayer Challenge for Your Future Husband. I will post the book. And so what we're going to do is, if you if you're waiting for your mate, if you are if you are in the season of, maybe you're engaged to be married, maybe you're in a relationship and you're not sure if that's the one, or if you're in a relationship and that's the one, might be dragging his feet, whatever situation you're in. I don't know you all situations, but if you are if you haven't said I do just yet, then I'm talking to you. All right. He might be there, but you just haven't, you haven't said I do just yet. This challenge is for you. All right. So what we're going to be doing starting May 1st is we're going to be going through that book. You don't necessarily have to get the book, because every day I'm going to post the particular topic that you're going to be praying on for your future husband. But it will be 31 days. So from May 1st to May 31st, we will be going through this book, and we will be in prayer for our future spouses. All right. So you guys make sure that you stay tuned. Make sure that you turn your notifications on, because I will be posting more information about that challenge that we'll be doing in May. All right. So I want you guys to make sure that you're a part of that, if you so feel led to be a part. All right. And I just encourage you all to pray one for the other. Prayer is always in order. Prayer is always necessary. And intercede for some of your brothers and sisters in Christ. All right. So you guys continue to pray for each other. Please pray for me as I continue to be your leader, as I continue to lead you in this ministry. All right. I love you all. And you guys make sure that you have a blessed night. I love y'all. And I'll see y'all next Tuesday at 7 p.m. Good night.